SUNO AI was, in my opinion, the best music generator until a few days ago when its competition showed up, UDIO. So today I want to compare SUNO versus UDIO to see which is the best music generator, and I'm going to be comparing the two bar for bar, pun intended.
SUNO versus UDIO, which is the best AI music generator?
First, we're going to be starting with the pricing, then I want to talk about the features and the user experience, and then I want to show you guys a bunch of prompts so you guys can decide which one is best, because I think there are some pros and cons to both. But with that being said, let's get started with the most important, pricing. First of all, they both have free plans and you can generate songs on both for free. And UDIO doesn't actually yet have a paid plan. It's entirely free for now because it's still in beta. So it's 100% free. There's no way you could actually give them money if you wanted to. But that's likely to change in the near future, of course, as soon as it's out of beta. But right now, with UDIO, you can generate up to 1,200 songs a month. Every time you generate a prompt, it does 2 songs. So you get 600 generations a month. And the fact that you can already get so much for free, again, will probably also change. Once they have a paid plan, I'm sure these limits will be reduced. Now, looking at SUNO's free plan, you get 50 credits that renew daily, and it costs 5 credits per song. So you do get 10 songs a day, but again, every prompt generates 2 songs, just like with UDIO, so technically you get 5 generations a day. If you add this all up, it adds to about 150 generations a month for 300 songs, but to get the maximum amount of songs a month with SUNO, you'd have to use your 5 generations every day, which you most likely won't do. The reason I started paying for SUNO before UDIO actually came out is because I wanted to do 20 songs and 20 generations at a time. I didn't want to have to wait and spread it across 4 days, because you rarely get the exact song you want or that you need with the first generation. And speaking of paid plan, I'm actually on the $10 a month pro plan and I'm paying monthly. And the reason is because I get 500 songs a month, which would equal to about 250 generations. And I can also then use this music commercially, which means I can use it in my videos and then monetize them. And you also get priority generation queue, but I haven't really noticed too much of a difference. And then the final thing is you can run up to 10 jobs at once compared to just doing 2, but I rarely generate multiple songs at the same time. I think the max I've done maybe is 2, just because I like to hear what I got from the first prompt before giving it another one. And SUNO's generations have never taken more than 30 seconds max, I think, whereas UDIO is actually a lot slower, but I'll get to that in a minute. But if we had to compare UDIO to SUNO on just the free plans, in my opinion, UDIO wins, because you can get 450 songs more a month than SUNO's free plan, and you've got way more flexibility because you can generate a bunch at a time instead of being limited to 5 generations a day. But again, likely to change. However, when it comes to the paid plan, SUNO wins because UDIO doesn't yet have one, and the paid plan with SUNO gives you commercial rights, which UDIO you don't actually have yet. So I'll be curious to know what UDIO's paid plans look like. And now when you sign up to the tools, they're both very similar. This is SUNO, you've got the menu bar on the top left, and then if we take a look at UDIO, we've also got the menus here on the top left. The biggest difference is on UDIO, you have the generation bar at the top at all times. Compared to SUNO, you have to be on the create page. But then you've also got home, library, and explore, and here you've also got discover, and then liked songs, and then down here you've got your playlists, because on both you can create your own playlists. If you want to see your profile on SUNO, it's down in the bottom left, and you've got some other tabs. You can also see your credit consumption, and then on UDIO, all of this information is actually on the top right, and you've also got a bunch of documentation, etc. right here. But you'll notice that I click on pricing, as you can see, it's currently in beta, so it's all free. Now, one thing I do like about both tools is that all generations are private by default. So for an example, as you can see here, they are all private. If I did want to make one public, I can just click toggle and then it becomes public, but I can just quickly switch that off right now. And as you can see, it's now link only, so I can share it, and I can also delete them. I can move it to trash, and then I have to go and empty my trash. On UDIO, it's a pretty similar experience. If I wanted to publish one, I just click publish, and then if I wanted to unpublish it, I just click unpublish. But enough about the actual user interface, let's compare some of the results. And every time I'm gonna put about a 5 to 10 second snippet of the song, and we're gonna compare them both side by side. So now the first generation I did was this one right here on both. The prompt I used was Realm of Melodic Tranquility Rap. And for this one, I was on automatic mode. So essentially, I just put in the prompt and click create. And on UDIO, same thing here, I just click auto-generated, put in the prompt and click create. So these are the automatic settings side by side. And now if we take a listen here.
Wandering through the clouds, I find my peace. Melodies flowing, my mind finds release. Reaching for the stars where my dreams reside.
I don't think that sounds amazing.
Wandering through the clouds, I find my peace. Melodies flowing, my mind finds release.
Sounds okay. But if we go to UDIO, give these two a listen.
So serene, I don't know. Can you do your peace now? Where you drift now, so serene, I don't know.
realm of calm where my thoughts compose like whispers.
See here, they sound much better on UDIO in my opinion. I think it matches the prompt a lot better and the lyrics sound better. So for the second one, I decided to do a prompt that was a little bit more complex, and from SUNO we got the song called Speeding Ducks, and the prompt here was new wave rock song about driving fast down the highway with a fleet of ducks flying just above you while feeling the breeze in your hair. And by the way, I do want to mention that I really like the fact that SUNO directly gives you the prompts on the side. You can get this from UDIO, but you actually have to click on the song, just like this. But let's see what it sounds like on SUNO. Good generations, but they don't sound amazing. Now if we go to UDIO and we listen to Ducks and Drive, which I think is a better name than Speeding Ducks.
Speeding down those lanes, ducks align, a fleet in flight.
Accelerating now, the wind rushes all around.
This to me sounds a little bit more new wave rock, and it also sounds clearer. I think the lyrics are better in this one as well. But remember, I did say that SUNO wins in some areas compared to UDIO. So if we go back to SUNO, because I think UDIO is winning quite a lot right now, here is the first song where SUNO takes the cake. So for this one, what I decided to do, if I just click open, is I actually used custom mode this time. And for the lyrics, I entered Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat, which will sound familiar for obvious reasons. And then for the style, I actually input Psytrance Techno. And now give these two a listen. So I used the lyrics there, and then the next one. So use the lyrics there as well, and I actually think these sound really good. But now if we go to UDIO, again I did the same things. I put in Psytrance Techno, obviously on custom mode, and then we put in Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat. And what actually happened is we got a moderation error, and I'm guessing is because UDIO picked up the Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat already very famous lyrics, or it's I think the name of the actual song as well, and so it couldn't generate it. But what I ended up doing is if I click on here is I just changed it to Beat, Leap, Dave, Repeat. So very different, and so these two songs are supposed to be Psytrance Techno. Now let's take a listen compared to the SUNO ones. I don't think either of these are anywhere near as good as the Psytrance Techno songs we got from SUNO, and it doesn't also use the custom lyrics that I input. Albeit the lyrics were weird, SUNO still incorporated them into the tracks. Here they don't, in my opinion, fit the prompt. And so now that we've done lyric ones, what I wanted to do is test out the instrumental features. So here for the instrumental feature, I decided to go pretty simple, and so here we've got back to the classics. The simple prompt was rhythmic old school hip hop, and obviously no lyrics because it's an instrumental, but let's take a listen. Good, but super simple, nothing crazy. Good, again, super simple, quite repetitive, nothing crazy. But if we go back to UDIO now, let's take a listen to these two right here. So here, I think these instrumentals are better, and the reason being is because they're not as repetitive. They've got more of a feel to old school hip hop beats, and they are a lot more dynamic, basically. So like I said, they're a lot less repetitive. You've got different elements that come in and come out, and they're not just repeating the same 4 bar. So here, for the instrumentals, I think that UDIO wins. Whereas going back to the techno and electronic music, I think SUNO's a lot better. And now the last thing I wanted to try was something quite experimental, because I've seen some people on Reddit with experimental prompting. And so here, all I decided to do was prompt telephone ringing. And let's go to SUNO first and see what this sounds like. Okay, so this was obviously set on instrumental mode. They kind of sounded like one of those really bad ringtones you get on a Samsung phone. But if we go to UDIO, take a listen to this. This doesn't sound like a telephone ringing at all. And then if we go to this one, again, it sounds like some ambient soundscape, even though it's supposed to just be a telephone ringing. And so what I decided to do is on UDIO, there's actually this feature which is called manual mode. Because basically, UDIO actually rewrites the prompts for you to get better outputs. So I decided to toggle this on so that UDIO doesn't rewrite the prompts for me, okay? And then I put in the same thing, so telephone ringing, and this is what we got. Doesn't sound like a telephone ringing at all. Not quite sure where these generations are coming from, but manual mode seems to have a super big input on the results. So I'm guessing it almost bypasses any of these. So the results, what is the best AI music generator? First of all, I'd love to hear what you think, but I think that SUNO is good for electronic music. It comes up with some good lyrics when you're prompting it a song, but the vocals in the songs don't quite sound as good, and the songs don't sound super high quality. However, I feel like they match the prompts that I give it quite well. But taking a look at UDIO, things sound super crisp, super clear, super high quality. Honestly, it's pretty insane, but I'm guessing there's a lot of rewriting of the actual prompts to get it to sound good. And because of that, I often feel like the prompts that I give it don't match the kind of song that I'm trying to go for. But it wins in terms of quality. But with that being said, I would love to know, what do you guys think? What do you think of the generations in this video? Have you tried them? And what do you think of the results that you guys have been getting? And tell me, between SUNO and UDIO, which one do you think is the best AI music generator? If you found this video helpful, you enjoyed it, subscribe, hit the like button, peace.